dear England and Ireland, where especially where there are impositions from the loss of independence, the value of it. There are all means to monetize that, to counter it. The way it works is we realize how each individual has grouped sex as value, and has species as a nature of volume. It has species tied not to our physical value, not tied to a system that's showing a little bit more of a semi-nature coming in to and as the value of its complete relationship to itself, as our relationship to itself, which is constantly, we are a quality of diffusion. That is a science as fact, treatment nature as science, that is dealing with it, with how each thing is bonded three natures of volume at once. And another semi-nature a little bit before, that came before and a little bit after, as a gaining value of it, as what we can't be once our temporary / lasting trinity is posited. This is the bond of the value of the bond. So this is our course, vaccine. It tells us things. Prepare our souls. So, not just all these places we have to treat and understand how we are a value nature system that can't pretend it's science and pretend it's about free speech and pretend it's about free religion at the same time. And so how needing to value how states and areas were and are entrenched within as religious convictions, as sensibility natures, forcing us to rely on natures of identity. They have other natures of law think for them. Not allowing free speech and demonstration of identity thefts, sequence shifts acts, predators, states, and areas, interbranch families originally and still. Victim predators, but victims, but victim predators. Every modern nation, together, individually, and grouped, especially maintain grouped involvements with what you can't, what requires denials of it, as quality of fact, treatment nature, that is not truth, and that is attaching lies to all truths, and is appreciating that, which we have maintained, facilitated intercampuses, sequence shifts, vertical and horizontal, with the identity thefts, as a crime method attaching people to fake relationships to others that don't even know. And then sequence shifting when there are exceptions, criminally exploiting all of them. Preventing free speech to demonstrate sequence shifts that demonstrate behavior crimes, physical delusions, and criminal foreign influences and uses of them of each branch individually, together, and grouped, recorded crime acts, natures, and methods, forging names, switching sequences, identity theft crime acts, attaching people to fake ties to others, fake locations and databases, women interbranch crimes with child offenders, with the men interbranch crimes with overt criminal enterprises with them, and with private tie to them, systemic physical delusions and criminal foreign influences of misprision used criminality, and systemic criminal foreign influence physical delusions, intersciences, like especially with psychology, interbranch crime rules with them, physical delusions of courts relying upon experts they know are physical, they are valuing with physical delusions like their own, because they've never allowed free speech. And it's simultaneously inherent active and progressive means. And they still, the identity of and hurt anyone who tries to demonstrate it. Their recorded crime methods and nature's roles recorded to themselves telling lies, but also to others consciously about what they think about Confederate flag. As per their roles with sequence shifts, cover-ups, per their roles with identity theft, crime methods. We have people walk by someone and then they pretend other. From the background where they can't pretend other honestly. They have crime methods and natures dealing with issues going into courts each day with and as that are predators' roles with the same lie progressions, with the same finite active body of value sequence shifts, identity theft roles, with the overt criminal enterprises, with private ones in the area. They need to hide it not by accident. All victims, but as victim predators, overt predators, interbranch, individually grouped together. This is grouped nations maintained identities of value. They can't defend that in themselves and us at the same time. There and here, fake sides. Russians' crimes with our agencies against our own and their own against their own there. Fake sides because they're using much uncharged private and as identity of relationship to their ground, as the identity of value of that, which is unceasingly increasingly value. Relationship that is positive or negative, maintained, told positive when it's really negative. Per the science of positive, which is about a trinity, is about the Trinity. See, we have roles and natures maintained criminally foreign influenced victim predators valuing fake sides of the Trinity, fake sides of correlation nature, fake middles of fact treatment natures, of sequence treatment, each age of fact treatment nature. Per how the same way you could lie to and get over and hurt a kid individually easily when they're young because they have no experience. They do the same thing to each age, grouped. They hurt them, and then they make them value that on and off campuses per a method to this, effective through generations. We never had free speech. They never had free competition. They know that. It's recorded because they didn't even have free science, free speech, free religion. They didn't even liberate areas from value nature systems used to pretend reality is what forces it to be criminally foreign influenced. Breaching methods force sustained fake care, fake hurt, and all fake middle, all roles, fake. Our course is about what forced that. The fact treatment nature slavery of our founders. Their identities are stolen. And this is the course of the crime method that explains what psycho things were with and what they were doing with the method putting color in there, overtly sick crimes. And how they were recorded effectively had everyone blame on other things and others themselves to have that defended, to maintain all misprision, fake differences, rely upon the same needs and natures to hide lie progressions, like pretending politics means what it doesn't. Like pretending to be against dictators while being them. Worse, identity theft rackets roles. Little boxings to souls. The pathology of infrastructure from tactically denatured base with the fact nature of our slavery value. Not even demonstrated a part of our course because they have other value already having been valued. That needs correlation nature hurt. That needs theater. That values theater intersciences right there. Influence to hurt it the same way for other reasons. Physical delusions with all natures of psychology. Speech pathologists, etc. The recorded attaching people to fake conversations they don't even know, attaching people to fake ties to doctors and stuff. These are also families that are maintained with locations with campuses, so they can maintain the campuses criminally foreign influence from off campuses, tied to nature of debates and fights at the trade center agreement, complex, litigation levels in relationship to organized crime, and where that was left legalized criminally to be exploited criminally. Free speech that I just want to teach. So we'll examine, the sequence shifts are also, they're pretending politics means, to lie to the American public the same way they're lying to each age of fact treatment nature as roles in this. Because recorded through time originally and still, we have natures of directors of the agencies and the federal criminals and their lawyers personally crime acts roles with databases. And in cases, stayed per that. They're lifted as criminally foreign influence fact treatment nature roles, database racket roles, identity theft racket roles. Our branches, every modern nation. This is what religions are about. A nature of organized crime that affected alter roles to defenses of that. As pseudo-positive, as criminal insidiousness nature. That is pretending it has integrity. That is pretending it has proper behavior. Criminally, as a weapon, per their identity thefts, fake both sides of news crime acts. Sequence shifts, cover-ups, using the concept of Mueller to pretend they didn't realize crime acts roles with former director of the FBI, Robert Luskin, and with his co-defendants, recorded and confessed criminally involved with them with CNN and with Connecticut News, on and off CCSU crime acts, on and off Trinity College crime acts, on and off other campuses from off them, but exploiting state on and off criminally used roles with them, also training police forms with sustained on and off campuses inter-industry positions, nature to fact treatment natures again. Crime roles with each age of fact treatment nature, as correlation nature, as Trinity. Again, hurt. And worse if it's not conform to valuing fake sides of fact treatment nature, fake middle, as a Trinity, as the nature of logic, as three natures of volume, semi-natures in demonstration how they are one nature together. With that will only stay the only complete unto itself. That's why it forces Leith of Hadith if we don't stay positive to inherent, individual, active group / sexes and species, nature, volume together at the same time. Which shows when we do it at the same time, makes our progression positive value. With the rewards of evolution out of nowhere. The fruits of it. And or Leith of Hadith, negative value nature progressions, acts and natures. Less fruits of the positive that is beyond our control, even as the range in our control. That's why we all need water. Let's see. We're in a tactical terrier from actual value nature systems. Individually grouped and together, the species. Stuck tactically and engineered to roles with it, incapable of even speculating ways out of it, without admitting it, incapable of admitting it because all fake sciences. Free speech goes right now, instant answers. It shows theater long, not theater, but criminal insidious nature and not legal. And hiding it, and how I'm motivated to that. What methods using, having been used. And then used in the Trade Center attack. And with crime acts since. Per our side's roles recorded with other nations facilitated to it. Fake sides. Only defending crime methods, like with psychology tied to prisons, they share agreements of mental illnesses. They pretend recorded, and again they're recorded with physical delusions. These are nations training on and off campuses, training of policing of prisons and things like that. I'm not police, I'm not criminal. Boxing, I'll delineate the delusions of each branch and of their doctors here. Let's go.